So even after you beat this game, there's still a ton of stuff to do. You know, you can still unlock a whole bunch of stuff. Let's look at my save file with 64 hours logged on it.
Okay, alright, sure.
The save file has over $1 billion in money on it.
Screw you, credit card.
Yeah.
We're cash only.
But when you beat the game, you unlock all these galleries, one of them just being...
I consolidated my debt, Nelson. What you gonna do?
You unlock all these different galleries. One of them has a lot of neat concept art in it. I want to go to this model gallery just to point out something.
I love the W in Blue's hair. I never noticed that before.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Oh, it's great.
But yeah, with one of the characters you see in this game, you only see it for a brief second, so you don't notice this detail. But with Nelson, look at his chest hair is a spiral.
Oh, I mean, of course you notice the butt.
Yes. And also, there are member files. These are the recruit screens, but also with their little backstory, also their logo.
Everyone has a logo?
Something I didn't point out, yeah, when you recruit new people on the gamepad, their logo appears on it.
The car, not the band.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder X continues to be the best.
Yep. But with these member cards, we also get member cards for all the unlockable secret characters as well. And this is the only way you ever see those, because when you unlock them, you don't get a recruitment screen. So the first one is Vorkin.
Hi, Vorkin.
His hobby is building plastic models. He's also 260.
Does he gloat around the plastic models? Does he stamp around them, pretending to be Godzilla?
I would hope so.
Well, 260 in Rulo years. That's like 28.
Also, when he's damaged, he's like in a pajama onesie or something?
I'm wearing that right now.
Yeah. But yeah, once you unlock Vorkin, you just get to have the boomerang throughout the entire game. And on top of, you know, just having this extra character, if you look at P-Star, when you're playing as Vorkin, it turns into V-Star.
Oh, why can't they be friends?
I know.
Why can't they get along?
But yeah, having the boomerang throughout the whole game is pretty awesome because the boomerang's actually pretty good. We also have Chugi. He's from the planet Bushido.
Of course he is.
His hobby is martial arts of all kinds. His experience is going off the chart. And for some reason, his powered-up form is called Ganjo form. Vorkin's was Teo form. I don't know why they're different forms, but...
I'm not sure, but I'm willing to bet that this music is taken from Beautiful Joe and not just meant to be reminiscent.
Yeah.
But, like, taken from...
It sounds very similar, yes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so you also get to have the Naginata with you at all times, and generally you only have one Naginata user. But if you're at any story point where you're supposed to have Chugi anyways, you actually have two Chugis. Same goes for Vorkin and Immorta.
So you have Duogis.
Yeah.
Duolgis? It's not working.
Also, Immorta's hobby is knitting.
Hey, that's a perfectly good hobby.
Yeah.
It's really in style these days. Mm-hmm. I have so many scarves and hats.
My mom's gotten way into it, and I am very appreciative for all the warm things I'm getting. You also get Wonder Red.
Assignment Las Vegas, you dirty old man.
Occupation English gentleman. And his hobby was theater. Also, old-timey Wonderful Ones had a different face mask from they power up, which I think is pretty great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, if he enjoys theater and he's in Vegas, is he seeing the Duck Dynasty stage show?
Oh, hell yes. Also, when you're, old Wonder Red, when you play as Nelson, P-Star turns into the old version of P-Star.
Oh, why would you be anyone else?
I know. I wish I could assign P-Star's costume, like, separately, because I love old P-Star a lot.
Do you think that's the same P-Star, like P-Star's dad?
Oh, I don't know.
Stingy Eye is the worst name for
Stingy
weapon.
Eye, yeah. Lucas 7.
How did he get that much wisdom? Let's be realistic here.
He should have, like, a negative for wisdom. It should be like breaking the graph. I get to have Goggles. Goggles is actually... It's not good for the higher difficulties, but on, like, normal and lower, it's cool just because it, like, pierces through enemies. So you can hit a whole bunch of enemies at once with the Goggles. We get Nelson again, but old.
Double Nelson. At least he moved back home to England.
Yeah. You get to have... Well, also, he keeps the old-timey face mask still. On top of having a second drill user...
Some things never go out of style.
On top of having a second drill user, when you play as Old Nelson, his drill is always on fire.
Nice.
Wonder Scarf. It's Alice.
Yeah, sure, Scarf. That's what I'd go with. Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, she collects stuffed animals.
Yeah.
That's nice. I dig her font. It's a good font.
Yeah, it's a great font. So her Unite Morph is just the whip, but it's an ice whip.
Ice whip.
So this is just flat out better than using the normal whip. Does the same amount of damage and everything else, it's just, it also has the chance to freeze enemies in place.
Cool.
And when you have, like, a different... Oh, also,
Nope.
yeah.
Inventing is your job, not your hobby. All right? Take it seriously.
So, like, if you have a whip or a drill, and one of them is, like, you know, special, like it has an element on it that it normally is not on, like, the normal whip, whenever you make a really big one, it'll automatically switch to Alice, as long as she's not knocked out.
Huh. Cool.
So Shirogane, he has a bomb, but it works slightly differently in that his bomb does no damage, but it makes enemies stay in place for much longer.
Not just slow down, but like stop?
Pretty much. Wonder Daddy.
Oh, he's dead. He has a halo because he's dead.
His weapon is called the Daddy's Claw.
Aww.
Daddy's Claw.
Are you planning to be a Wonder Daddy someday?
I don't know, man. Wonder Daddy has fire claws.
Well, then everyone should want to be a Wonder Daddy someday. If you get fire claws, it seems alright.
So he just throws tons of fireballs all the time, and it's pretty awesome. Also, Wonder Cyclone for the claws I never showed off. It's pretty good. Wonder Future is red when he was 5.
Okay. Hobby weapons. What?
His weapon is called Son of a Hope. So yeah, Wonder Future. He has a hand that's always on fire, but it can't grow in size. It can only be a 10-sized hand. However, it throws two...
yeah, you wouldn't want to break his shoulder or anything.
Yeah, it throws 2 fireballs per punch, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Good job, Wonder Future. Hey.
Pose man.
Go for it!
Oh, that's not what he looks like at all. Come on.
So...
Get that face out of here.
even his logo is pretty, So...
Oh, I'm so happy.
Poseman is a mysterious hero from parts unknown. He is a mysterious superhero who sometimes helps out the Wonderful 101, but they don't know who he is.
So he's the 6th Ranger, by which we mean like 112th by now.
And so, Poseman, when Beautiful Joe is still in development, before he was called Beautiful Joe, one of his other names was Poseman. There's actually some promotional art out there with billboards in the background that actually says Poseman on it. When he's knocked out, he's this guy?
Yeah, what the hell?
I don't know. I like his boots, though.
Yeah, they're alright.
Yeah.
It's not even the right hair color. Never mind the everything else.
So, yeah, he gets to have a hand that's always on fire, that throws fireballs.
He should have a hand that combines with the bomb.
Yeah.
He should have a time-slowing punch.
That would be pretty awesome. So, he has one other ability. He always has Ukemi. His Ukemi uses the Beautiful Joe Ukemi animation, and it works like Ukemi in Beautiful Joe, where it hurts enemies. Also, this is Hideki Kamiya.
What is Takarazuka Theater?
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. I'm gonna look that up as soon as we're done here.
But yeah, this is like one of the last characters you can unlock.
He's got kind of a gut. I dig that.
Yep. So, if you don't know, Hideki Kamiya tweets all the goddamn time, which is why he's always looking at Twitter on his phone when you play as him. It also said that he's a mild-mannered game director, which is the complete opposite, because he's like, he blocks people nonstop, and if people ask him questions that he's already been asked once before, he tells them to ask their mom and then blocks them. He's very slow. He runs like a goofball.
Well, yeah, he clearly doesn't do cardio. Look at his model.
So Kamiya also recorded his own voice clips for when he plays him.
Was he very grumpy that day?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
Doesn't seem really engaged. For a guy whose hobby is lavish productions of Western-style musical theater.
Yeah. So, even though it says he has really good stats, Kamiya actually dies in a single hit.
Here's the question. Do you think that's a play as me if you want hard mode, or like a self-deprecating joke?
I might think it's
both.
Yeah, it might be both. So he uses goggles as his Unite Morph, except his goggles look like his hat and glasses he wears all the time.
That's pretty amazing that they modeled a whole new Unite Morph. You know, a new model, just for his unlockable character.
So he shouts something Japanese, and he also shouts beam when you attack with his hat. His Unite Morph is really, really weak, but it lasts longer. Also, he has 2 different taunts, including...
Ask your mom.
There's something really endearing about whenever a creator puts their own voice in a video game, it sounds just like your average Newgrounds Flash game.
Yeah. So we also got Wonder Rodan.
Once again, people lifting their jobs as their hobbies.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure bartender's the hobby, weapon making is the job. You got it backwards.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Rodan is the shopkeeper from Bayonetta. He is, well, when he gets knocked out...
He wears a lovely hat.
Mm-hmm. So he's a hammer user, but he's the best hammer user, because he's the only hammer user to have a 3-hit combo. He's the only one to do it. I don't know why, but it's pretty cool. We also got Jean, again, another character from Bayonetta.
Shopping, now there's a hobby.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Her weight and size is measured in magic. So, with Jean, her sword is always has the lightning element on it, and it also is remodeled to look like her sword from Bayonetta, the Angel Slayer.
That's so cool!
Yeah. She also has a couple other benefits when you place her. She's actually, her one downside is that she moves very slowly when you have the sword out, slower than any other character. But she always has hero time equipped, even if you don't have the part equipped. And she has the drill spring.
But it's a dragon.
But it's a dragon. It's actually one of the demons she summons when you play as her in Bayonetta. And of course we have Bayonetta herself. Her hobby is beauty care. She's 500 plus years old.
Name unknown. Pretty sure it's Bayonetta. I'm pretty sure.
So, Bayonetta has some pretty good animation details, including her double jump, still having the butterfly wings pop out behind her. She uses Unite Gun, but it's remodeled to look like her gun's the Scarborough Fair.
Mm-hmm. Does she have an equivalent for the Super Scope?
So, one, she cannot use the gun skills, and she doesn't have a Super Scope, but when you increase in size, you just add more guns.
Alright.
So if you go up to 100, you have 4 guns. Just firing all at once. It's pretty awesome.
That's like its own skill.
Yeah. Here's the Cyclone for the gun. You can fire all 100 of your members if you want. It's actually really powerful if you get every, like, half the shots. Also, if you level up the gun enough, draw a square, you get a Jeep with missile launchers on top of it.
What is this nonsense?
You get to shoot your buddies as missiles.
And they just hop right in there.
Yeah. So that's another 50-size gun Unite morph. And if you level pretty much every single gun user up and draw a big square...
Oh, now this is ridiculous.
It blows up the entire screen. It's awesome.
That's just too much gun.
After you beat the game, 2 new Unite morphs appear in the shop. One is the W. It is Wonderful Forever. As long as you have battery, you can continue to fire the laser, and you also get Platinum Forever. Both of those Unite morphs cost $1 million.
So they... To buy or to use?
To buy. Also, if you level almost every single person up, you can get Unite Big. So you just draw a capital B, and you get to be a gigantic Wonder Red until your batteries run out.
Is that good?
It's really powerful. Also, it doesn't just apply to just Red. You can be any main member. They all get to be gigantic. It's just whichever character you're currently playing as, they get to be huge. Some of them are definitely better than others, but they're all pretty damn strong. It's pretty great. And you can actually use this to completely not skip, but there's some bosses you can end very quickly with Unite Big.
How does Pink's whip work? Because it didn't have much of a model.
Yeah, I don't know really. So when you create a gigantic wonderful one, just when they pop out of the ground, that itself is an attack.
Okay.
So if you make a giant person shoot out of the ground while you're right next to an enemy, you'll pretty much kill them instantly. You also get to, a couple other characters also get to become large. Including Nelson. Works with Chugi. Chugi's Unite Big is really good because you can just do this move non-stop.
Because you get the biggest naginata of all time. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Vorkins is decent just because it's really fast. Immortus is actually probably the best one.
Yeah.
I want to say it's almost broken because you can shoot so many arrows so fast and all of them do a ridiculous amount of damage.
That's just because Immorta's the best.
Yeah. You know, big goggles ain't that great, to be honest.
Neither is Little Goggles. You see, it just follows the pattern.
Yeah. And of course, Bayonetta also gets to be huge. And of course, when you attack with her, she uses a combo straight from the game. But that isn't everything this game has to offer. There's a couple more things left.
So we're finally getting out of school after all that nonsense.
Yeah. The highest difficulty mode in this game is 101% hard, and it actually changes the rules a little bit. The first thing is, the game does not go into slow motion when you draw anymore.
Uh-huh.
You have to draw in real time. And of course, new enemies appear. The second fight of the game is a huge dragon. That's where the highest difficulty mode starts off at.
Great, great. That's just lovely.
So, the highest difficulty mode is also don't get hit mode, because like if this dragon hit me once, I would lose about a quarter of my health, and I'm at maximum health. And yeah, enemies do have a little bit more health all around, and they're also a lot more aggressive. They don't sit around to attack as much. And probably the biggest change to the game on the highest difficulty is normally, you know, you use up battery when you draw something and create a Unite morph. But like if you make a hand and you put it away and you want the hand again, it doesn't use any battery. On the highest difficulty mode, just pulling out a Unite Morph every time uses up 1 battery.
Oh, that's just mean. That's just mean.
So all the attack canceling stuff is a lot more expensive now because you're going to use almost a whole battery to do it. And it also means you have to find big openings for attacks so you don't just waste battery.
Operation 101.
And there's also a secret operation.
Yeah, right in the middle of the smoochy lips.
Operation 101 only appears in this game after you have found and beaten every single Kaku Riga in normal, hard, and 101% hard.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
So 64 hours on this file, huh?
Yeah.
64 hours.
64 hours. So, when you unlock Operation 101, you still will not have unlocked everything. You actually need to beat this to get a couple of the bottle caps in the game and to actually unlock a couple characters. So yeah, when you get to this, after 3 full playthroughs of the game, you still aren't done if you're going for 100%. But this is just one enormous Kaku Riga.
So, wait, does your file, can you submit that to, like, speed demos for their 100% category? Because, come on. How much competition do you think there is out there?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not a lot. But Operation 101 is just one giant Kaku Riga. And they begin with secret missions you've played before. But they slowly begin to ramp up with more difficult things, like 3 dragons at once.
Look, if you can do 1 dragon, you can do 2 dragons. If you can do 2 dragons, you can do 3 dragons. Basically, as soon as you beat your first little Dogu, you have the skills you need to fight 3 dragons at once. It's just a matter of skill and scale.
There are a lot of levels to this operation. Operation 26 has you fighting Lambo and 2 other Lambos?
Pseudo-Lambos.
Pseudo-Lambos.
Lamfo, if you want.
Operation 101 has its own difficulty setting in that the first, quarter or a third of the missions are on normal mode, and then each one begins to ramp up. So by the time you're up to mission 26, you're actually playing on 101% hard mode. Which is, yeah. Like that, I got hit by a really weak attack, and that still took out that much of my health. Yeah, it's just madness. This is actually also one of the more difficult fights.
You don't say!
I actually think this one should have been put in farther, because it's harder than some of the fights ahead of it. Oh god. Yeah, you need Ukemi to survive on the highest difficulty mode. Also, a couple things in the story campaign get changed up a little bit on the highest difficulty mode. Mainly the shooter segments. The enemy placement is a little different. Some segments are actually made longer with more enemies. And you know the part near the end of the game where you're just flying on the boomerang and you have to avoid all the lasers?
Yeah.
All the lasers become instant death if you touch them.
Okay, alright.
That part probably shouldn't happen. It probably should have not done that much damage, but it does. And it's hard. And
so, in order to get to this point, you need a lot of practice.
Yep.
You need Ukemi, you need all of your skills, and you need a prayer. You're going to want a direct line to the big guy upstairs.
Yeah, that definitely helps. So when you go even further in, the second to last fight... actually, not the second to last. You also get to fight 3 turtles at once. But again, just like with 3 dragons, if you know how to handle 2 dragons...
Yeah.
You don't have to change much in your strategy. There's just 3 of them now. You just have to be mindful that there are 2 places that can bite you, and not just one.
One of those is one of those dragons is a punch-out boss in disguise. As soon as you knock off the shell, it just starts coming at you.
Oh god.
and you don't have your giant robot anymore, so...
Oh, man. Man, what was I gonna say? Now I'm forgetting things. Oh, 6 tigers!
This went from a hidden mission to just like a children's counting book.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
3 turtles, 6 tigers! So one... You know, I showed that you can recruit Shirogane, and his Unite Bomb does not do damage, but it freezes stuff for longer. That actually messes up the attack liner glitch that does a lot of damage when enemies are hit with the bomb. It only works if the bomb does damage, so Shirogane's bomb is actually worse.
I gotta say, I'm seeing a pattern.
Yeah. So the second to last fight is Lambo and Waltha, and then the final one is just a really aggressive version of Vorkin.
More aggressive than Vorkin 3?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
Just because
Okay.
the game makes you fight him on the highest difficulty mode, but you get one thing that makes it easier than if you fought him like in Vorkin 3 in the story mode is that you are in a gigantic arena.
Right, yeah. That's gonna make a difference.
Because yeah, if they made you fight him on the Virgin Victory, this would be a lot harder. Also, Vorkin 3 on the highest difficulty mode is the hardest boss in the entire game.
You know what they should have had hidden in here? The last one should have been that boss that Vorkin killed that you never got to fight.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be so cool.
So there's actually backstory to that boss you never fight. He's the guy that conquered Rulo, and his hobby was to conquer planets and encase them in ice and just collect them. He collected planets.
What is it for?
I don't know. So also, when you're doing Operation 101, every 6 operations you get another wonderful figure. So to get all the figures, you have to play through this whole thing.
That's sadistic. That's what that is.
Playing through Operation 101 takes about an hour.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And about every 6 fights is a single medal for this operation.
What happened to the second 6? What happened?
Lots of gimmick fights that I didn't have patience for.
Okay.
Also, when you beat Operation 101, you unlock the final custom part. Infinite energy.
Alright, there you go.
You just get unlimited battery whenever it's equipped, and it's a lot of fun. Custom blocker. And that's everything. Good night, folks.